Hi, and welcome to the first video of a series of videos that I will be doing on this channel. Now, I have already put up a little promo video. You might have guessed what the series is going to be about. You may be clueless, you may be a first-time viewer. Whatever your situation, I am really excited about this series of videos, and I hope that they have the impact that I'm kind of aiming for. So let's get started. I am pregnant. Very exciting. Currently, this video is going to be going up later. I'm filming as we go. Currently, I'm 5 weeks pregnant, which I know is very early to be allowing yourself to get excited about these things, but let's face it, it's inevitable. You get excited as soon as you find out. And with each subsequent pregnancy, your chances of miscarriage do go down. So I kind of feel like it's okay to talk about. Plus, I was talking to my mum about it, and she was like, this whole waiting 12 weeks to talk about it is kind of a new thing. When she found out she was pregnant with me, she just told people the next day. So we're kind of taking a more relaxed approach to it this time. So we're slowly, over the first 12 weeks, going to be telling our family, because we don't get to see them all face to face very often. So, because like Nick's family live a little bit further away, and because we're busy and they're busy, we don't always get to see each other face to face. So we're going to take a few weeks to make sure we get them all in on it first, make sure my grandparents know. My parents already know. They're first people we tell every time, it turns out. But yeah, so we're going to wait to put videos up, or I'm going to wait to put videos up until we've told sort of the most important family members first, and friends as well. We've got a few friends that we have told. I've told some of my close friends because I need help. I need help with the kids sometimes because the nausea is really intense. And that's kind of what this series is about. This series is going to be about my pregnancy, and most notably my first pregnancy after a birth trauma. Now, it is a planned pregnancy. We wanted to get pregnant. We wanted to have a baby. We wanted to have a third. We'd always kind of thought that we would have a third, and then after everything that happened with my last birth with Eloise, I couldn't really fathom ever going through that again. It was just too much to even contemplate, so we didn't. For a long time, we didn't talk about it. We didn't really expect it to happen. We were kind of enjoying the fact that we were a family of 4. But over the last 12 to 18 months, things have started to feel a bit better. Certainly in the last 6 months, we felt a lot more settled. We're in a home that we feel like we want to spend years in rather than a short period of time. We want to make roots here. And we're kind of already doing that. Rufus has started school nearby. We have friends in the street and nearby streets who we love already. And, we feel like we found a home finally. And it just feels very peaceful. And I think the idea of a third started to rattle around inside my brain, and I'm 31 years old. And the idea of still having all of these, potentially fertile years ahead of me, and I'm just like, well, yeah, but I won't. It just seemed such a waste, and it also seemed very sad that my last experience of pregnancy and birth was going to be such a negative one, even though, I wouldn't change Eloise for the world, and I couldn't love that child more. It was such an unfortunately bad experience, and to have that as my lasting impression of pregnancy and birth seems such a shame. And then on top of that, we just kind of always pictured ourselves with 3 kids. We kind of always saw, and this is my advice to people when they're thinking about how many kids they might have or planning when they might have their next child, is don't think about now, don't think about a year from now when you're not going to be sleeping and you're going to be having to schedule feeds and it's all going to be chaotic. Think about 20 years from now, and you're sitting around the Christmas table. How many people do you want there? How many people do you see there? In an ideal world, what's your family going to look like? And I think, for us, we always wanted 3 kids. because then you've got like them with a partner each, and then you've got the potential for loads of grandkids, which makes me really excited. And you know, there's just sort of more options, and there's also less pressure, I think, on each individual child, because although we wouldn't actively put pressure on them to be any way or do any particular thing, you know, we would love to have grandkids, but now only 1 out of 3 have to have grandkids as opposed to 1 out of 2. Do you know what I mean? There's a little bit more wiggle room in their lives, so that they can be free to be who they are a little bit more. It sounds weird, 'cause it sounds like I'm going to be sitting here going, give me grandkids, the minute they, I don't know, 10, 20, which I'm not at all. But, you know, you kind of think about that. And also, you know, in my twilight years, you sort of need your kids to help out a little bit. And, you know, if there's 3 of them, there's 3 of them to help. So, anyway, so it was planned, and we started trying, and it just, I don't know why we are the way that we are and other people aren't. I'm not a medical person, I'm not a science person, but for one reason or another, we seem to be a relatively fertile couple, and so we did get pregnant quite quickly, which I know for those out there struggling must be the most irritating, angering thing, and I can't imagine. Because I get impatient after 2 months if it hasn't worked, so I can only imagine. But we did get pregnant pretty quick, and so now we're just kind of absorbing it. We've known now for almost 2 weeks. We're just taking our time with it, getting used to the idea. I'm excited. The first night though, after we found out, I had a complete panic attack. I couldn't breathe, couldn't focus my mind. It was really difficult, and I think that is going to be something that's going to come up at various points. And my general sort of pregnancy symptoms have been so much more enhanced this time than they were with the others. Now, I know that every pregnancy is different, and so you can't really, or you shouldn't really compare one with another, but it's been surprising, because the first symptom was, weirdly enough, my nails growing really long, which is not something that they do normally. And then I had the most intense nausea that I have ever had. And I had a bit of morning sickness, a bit of nausea with both the other 2, but it wasn't so intense that I couldn't stand up. The nausea I've had with this one, when it's at its worst, I can't stand up. And there was a whole day, it was a Friday, where I could barely move, I could barely function in any capacity. And then on the Sunday I took a pregnancy test and found out I was pregnant. So, I don't know. And then my breasts have been sore, and they feel huge, and they're so tender, like they hurt even now when I'm not touching them. And I have been constantly hungry and bloated and all the other really unglamorous aspects of pregnancy. And you know what? I'm just going to say it, because this is what this whole series is going to be about. I have been constipated. And then also it brings in all of my other weird things. I've spoken about my issues with eating and with weight gain, and it brings all that in. And then the hormones, like 1 minute I'm completely normal and fine, and the next minute I'm crying or I'm screaming with anger, and there doesn't really seem to be any middle ground. That's where I am at the moment, which means that I am a joy to be around. And I can't eat in front of people because it makes me go into a death spiral of anxiety. But at the same time, I need to eat all the time because I'm hungry. So I'm therefore on my own a lot. It's been a crazy 2 weeks. It's fun. Anyway, this is my first video. This is just announcing it, telling you a little bit about what's been going on over the last 2 weeks. I will be doing a few more videos before I actually start uploading them to my channel. So when I do the first upload, there'll be a few videos, probably within the same day or couple of days. And then after that, I'll probably try and do like maybe one a week. And and yeah, we'll see how it goes. But my scan is the second week of April. I think it's like Easter holidays around that time, so that will be when I start putting things up. But anyway, to the beginning of a new chapter in our lives, and I'm really happy that I'm going to be taking you guys along with me. So until next time,